Welcome to the Q&A. Today we have David Arias from STRATA, and we are talking about how to finance startups with European Commission grants. So, first question, David, how the European Commission is supporting startups in some ways?
Yes, absolutely. The European Commission is supporting startups, and actually the European Commission has the biggest program, the biggest financing program for startups. And they started in 2014 with what was called SME Instrument Programme for small and medium companies, and now it's called EIC Accelerator.
And which are the best grant programs the startup they can apply to?
Yeah, as I say, I think the best program is the one called EIC Accelerator. It's a program that is completely focused on startups and small companies, and the startups can just apply alone with it's basically, they just need to basically submit a proposal, which is their business plan and their go-to-market strategy.
So, like one company, they have an idea and they say, I think I am very innovative, so they can apply.
Not really. There are, although the requirements are, the official requirements are not that strict, the startups must fulfill some technological readiness level, which means that at least the applicants should be able to demonstrate that they have developed an innovative prototype. So they really, they shouldn't be on the idea stage, but on the prototype stage.
And what is the level of innovation they are asking for?
Yes, as you can imagine, in this program, the EIC Accelerator, basically startups can get 2.5 million euro in grants and up to 15 million euro in investment. So that means that it's really, really interesting, and thousands of startups are applying. So it is very competitive, and the startups must be really innovative. So they really need to have a unique technology, something that it's not easy to copy, something that in many cases is derived from research projects. They must be really innovative, really, really unique.
So the academic research, they have a lot of opportunities as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I would say, yeah, a big part of the winners come actually from a university or academic background. Yeah, because those companies can demonstrate easily to have a unique technology. Yeah.
And what is the real success rate then, if there are so many applicants?
Yes. So during since the beginning, it has been like about 4% for the SME Instrument and EIC Accelerator. This success rate actually has been a bit lower during the two last calls because there has been an increase on the number of applications. So it is really, really competitive. But at the same time, I would like to say that there are thousands or hundreds of companies at least that are applying that probably shouldn't be applying. So if the company is really innovative, if the company is really developing a unique technology and also a high risk project, some projects that really need to be demonstrated, that they need like financial support to reach the market, they have a higher chance of success than a 4%, absolutely.
So what are the requirements to apply?
Yes, so the requirements, as I said, there are not many requirements. All small and medium companies can apply. So as long as the company is a small and medium company, which means that their turnover is less than 50 million euro, and they have less than 250 employees, they can apply. So most startups can apply, and also many small companies and medium-sized companies can apply.
So if you are a small company, so an SME, but your company is not innovative, but you have a project is very innovative, then you can apply with this project.
Yes, absolutely. This is a possibility that is done by many companies. Of course, you can get a grant for a project. Right now, since about 6 months ago, the European Commission included a new requirement that is called non-bankability. So that means that the company needs to also demonstrate that they cannot finance the project themselves, or they cannot find a bank to finance the project. So if it's a a medium-sized company with profits, they will have to demonstrate that they are not able to finance it for whatever reason.
Maybe because it's a lot of cost, like they can impact the performance of the company.
Exactly. Yeah, that could be a justification.
And there are programs as well in the EIC Accelerator to apply together with another company as a partnership to create something new as a project?
So the EIC Accelerator is only focused on single applications, okay? Only single applications. But within Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020, there are programs in which you can apply together with other companies and even together with universities or research organizations to develop an innovative product. For instance, one that is quite popular is Fast Track to Innovation, and it's basically focused on putting together 3 to 5 partners to co-develop, and bring together a new product or service to the market. And companies can receive up to 3 million euro for those kind of projects.
Okay, and this is the same thing to Eurostars, or is another program? Like as well, what is the difference between this Fast Track to Innovation and Eurostars?
Yes, Eurostars is a different program, and actually Eurostars is a program that is being supported by something called the Eureka Network, and the Eurostars programs, the funding for the Eurostars programs actually comes from the European Commission, but also from national governments. So it's a little bit different. The conditions and somehow similar to Fast Track to Innovation, but the rate of funding, the funding rate is lower. It depends on the country and on the type of applicant, but usually for small and medium companies, it is usually 50% and a maximum of €500,000 euro. So the top funding that they can receive is a bit lower in Eurostars.
Mm-hmm. Down you are talking about the funding rate. What is the funding rate, and how much, if you are asking, like you need 1 million, you are getting only 50% and in another 70%? So can you explain this funding rate, what exactly means?
Yes, so in the EIC Accelerator, companies receive 70% of the project budget plus 25% of indirect cost. Mm-hmm. So that means that that you can receive a quite high funding rate. If you put on top of the grant the indirect cost, you can get up to 85% of the project budget approved. But there's always, in all the European programs, there's always a part that the company must co-finance by their own means.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to demonstrate you can co-finance this part.
Yes, you have to demonstrate it. You have to have a clear idea of how you're going to do it in the proposal. And then once the grant is approved, the company can be even required to give more proof of that capability to co-finance the project. And
then you are talking about this type of activities that can be funded. So which kind of technical task can be funded in this indirect cost, but as well the direct cost of the project?
Yes, in the project, most of the projects are really very technical projects. So companies usually need to finalize a product, to demonstrate it so that this technology works on real market conditions. And typical activities that the companies include, depending on what type of company, of course, but it's software development, hardware development, miniaturization, scaling up a prototype as well, testing the prototype, these sort of things. But also, especially in the EIC Accelerator and in most European grants, companies can include commercialization package or pre-commercialization package in which they can include dissemination and communication activities. And these dissemination and communication activities are close to what some companies would call business development. It's close to PR and engaging with customers. So the idea is that they can include lots of types of activities until the product gets to the market. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm. So for instance, workshops or webinars in the case of online, or some kind of online trainings, videos, podcasts, articles.
Yeah.
Just social media activities.
All of that you can include it, and actually it's very welcome by the European Commission, because what they want to see is that the projects get disseminated, that they get
visible.
Communicated. So it's really good when companies do this communication and dissemination activities in the projects.
Yeah. Is there any requirement regarding the time to market, or if we are already selling something? So what is, since you get the grant, you have to create something ready for the market, or how is this when they ask you for this question in the proposal?
Yeah, so the main idea of the EIC Accelerator is that the companies get to the market, and so usually the usual project takes 2 years, and at the end of the project, the products should be on the market. That's the general idea. But in some specific cases, there could be different timelines as well. Like for instance, in the biotech sector or in the pharma sector, is sometimes it's not possible, that the project ends with a product on the market. On the other hand, for companies that already have a product on the market, it is always possible to apply to these grants if they can come up with a project that ends up with another final product, which can be an improved version, an upgrade of this product, or can be a totally new product. But of course, when you are asking for money from the European Commission, you have to demonstrate that this will have a huge impact on the company, So it doesn't make sense to apply for the money if you are doing like a small improvement on one product. Probably you will not get the money if this is just a small improvement. It has to be like a important step forward.
Yeah, for you as a business and as a technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now, David, you are a consultant to help the companies to apply to these grants, which is super complicated to understand first and then to make a very nice, appealing application. Why the startup and the SME needs a support to be able to apply? Why is so important?
Yeah, well, there are different reasons. The first reason is, of course, that you need a specific expertise to write these proposals in terms of budgeting, writing, explaining the competition, the go-to-market strategy. We can see many companies, especially the ones coming from an R&D background, that they really need to improve a lot their business plans, their go-to-market strategies, and so on. So if they hire a good consultant, they will not only get a good proposal, but also they will improve their business case. Probably, that's the main idea.
Because I think, well, from my experience as well, to try to apply like is helping you as well to analyze your project and your company. It's helping you to structure in a completely different way what are you doing. And I think that's as well very, very beneficial. Even only for this is worth it to apply with a support of a very professional to get to you to understand, even for the small details, you know. I remember once to say, okay, we will do a survey with X number of people to prove this or X. And then I was discussing with a reviewer and he said like, does it make sense? I mean, like, really, it was very curious question how the reviewers or how it's impacting as well the way you are doing the business. I think it's not only to apply to grants, which is very important as an extra line of funding when you are doing completely something new and bringing innovation to the market. Like, it's not only investors. I think it's very important to combine different ways of funding and outside to the customers. But this is this kind of perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's also like
well,
it's like a huge push also for companies. Like 1 week ago we had this deadline, and we did a couple of proposals, and both companies were telling us we don't know what the result will be, but it has been a great experience even without knowing the result, because for about 2 months we have been pushing them so much, in everything. Like, what is your price? What is your cost? What are your contractors? What is your value chain? What is your many different things that you have to put on the proposal, and that they don't know. Maybe they are just running the business or running the projects. They don't really need to face the challenges, and make decisions. And then when you have these proposals, especially the European ones, which are so much detailed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's no. You cannot say, well, let's see, we will enter maybe in the US, maybe in some years. No. You have to say, what are you gonna do next year exactly, and 2 years and 3 years. Even you can change it afterwards, but you have to be very precise. And they need to make so many decisions, and they really, it's really a very good experience for most of the companies, I think. And then of course the second aspect of why you should hire a consultant is also because of the time needed. It's there are several articles on the web pointed out that about 200 to 300 hours are needed to prepare a good proposal for example, an EIC accelerator. So, I mean, I think if the company has the possibility to hire a consultant, they should do it absolutely, because it makes no sense to stop everything they are doing to write a proposal for 2 months. It makes no sense, I think.
Yeah, that's one of when we're on these conversations with the EIC, they are going everywhere to make presentations. That's always the feedback. Oh, it costs so much to prepare all this. Like, we have, in some cases, for the small companies, is or you prepare a proposal or you run the business, and there is no possibility like you spend 2 months writing a proposal when you have to run your business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And even when you work with consultants, it requires work from the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the consultants, the consultants will need what's your sales projections? Okay, maybe we can then change it or fine tuning or work with you. But we need work from the company. But for companies that want to do it alone, I think it's crazy. Really, it's crazy. It's like, you will have to stop doing whatever you're doing for at least 1 month and focus on the proposal. And most cases, it doesn't make sense. In some cases, for instance, in industries in which they are really used to apply for grants, which are like, for instance, biotech, these type of companies, in many cases, they already have good writers, and they have like the business model and the processes to write proposals. Maybe in those cases, it could make sense that they write the proposal, but they also have to be aware that these proposals are very different to what an R&D proposal is. So this is a business proposal. The EIC Accelerator is a business proposal. The technology actually is described in a couple of pages.
That is very important for the innovation part.
It's really important, but then the market, the prices, the stakeholders, all of the other things need 100 pages. So it's a business proposal, and some companies don't know how to write it. Even if they have very good grant writers, maybe they don't have the skills to write this sort of proposal.
Thank you very much, David, for this conversation.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Yeah, the next time we have to do the tips, how to write a good proposal.
Okay. Yeah, it would be a pleasure talking to you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.